Well, good evening, and welcome to West Texas A&M The Pitch, the home of Lady Buff Soccer, for tonight's season opening game between the West Texas A&M Lady Buffs and the Hornets of Emporia State University. Lady Buffs open the season tonight hoping to put 2021 behind them, literally and figuratively. It was a disappointing season, one which saw them end the year at 14-6 overall. They finished 9-4 in Lone Star Conference play, and their season came to a conclusion in the second round of the Lone Star Conference tournament. Gone from a year ago, leading scorer and all-region player Hannah Kelly Lusk. She totaled 62 points in 18 games last year on the strength of 26 goals. They also lost key defender Cheyenne Orozco, but they'll be looking to build on that with experience as well as some new faces as well. Talking to head coach Chad Webb before the game, he said the key point this year is defending. He's confident the Lady Buffs are going to be able to score goals. He says no one's going to shut us out. The key's going to be we can't score 4 goals in a game and lose. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk about the Hornets. You're watching Lady Buff Soccer right here on the WT Sports Network.
Delicious, refreshing, Pepsi.
Welcome to MetaDrive Pharmacy, Canyon's hometown pharmacy for over 32 years. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to counsel you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly, professional service and the highest quality medicines and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your healthcare needs.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family-owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
And welcome back to the pitch. Key offensively for the Lady Buffs this year is going to be forward Asha James, the junior from Canaan, Trinidad and Tobago. Tallied 31 points last year in 20 games, including 14 goals and 3 assists. She is a 2022 LSC preseason Offensive Player of the Year, so a lot looked for to be from her this year as we head into the 2022 season. A year ago, she earned second-team All-Region accolades. She was a second-team All-LSC All-Tournament team. And interestingly, in the spring, she throws the javelin for the WT women's track team. In the 2021 NCAA D2 Outdoor Track and Field National Championships, she placed third. So an outstanding dual-sport athlete in the way of Asha James. 2 other players to watch for the Lady Buffs: Malaya Mendoza, she's a defender from Dallas, as well as number 2, Emily Avila, a defender from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now tonight's opponent, Emporia State, they're wanting to continue the progress they made last year. 19-3-1 last year, 9-2 in the MIAA. They were the MIAA tournament champions. They set a program record with those 19 wins, advanced to the second round of the NCAA postseason tournament. And overall, it was a tremendous year for the Hornets. To compound that, they return their leading scorer, All-America Mackenzie DeMarco. The senior from Pleasant Hill, Missouri, tallied 41 points last year in 23 games, scoring 20 goals along with 1 assist. So they have the firepower. They have a number of returnees. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup. First for Emporia State. And there you see the lineup and the key players for them, as we mentioned. DeMarco up front. And then in the back, Joni Westcote is an all-MIAA selection from a year ago. In the midfield, Hannah Woolery led the team in assists with 8. For West Texas A&M, you see their starting 11 here. And again, we will point out that Asha James up front, and then defenders Emily Avila and goalkeeper Reagan Heelan are going to be key factors for the Lady Buffs this year. And we're underway here at the pitch. Our officials, the umpire is Leaford Calder, the line judges Chance Daly and James Price. Lady Buffs in the black jerseys with the maroon West Texas and numerals outlined in white. Emporia State in the road white with the gold numerals, and they have the Emporia State stylized E logo in the center of the chest. West Texas A&M going from our right to our left here as we start the first half of play from the pitch in Canyon, Texas. Beautiful evening for soccer or any outdoor activity, 86 degrees, and by the time this game winds down, we should be in the upper 70s. Wind very light out of the south. The flag nearly limp on the staff. Flutters ever so lightly. Emporia with a throw-in down to the far left. They will maintain possession. The Hornets, coached by Brian Saylor. He's in his 11th season at Emporia State. 94 wins against 75 defeats and 25 ties. The winningest coach in Hornets women's soccer program history. And the Lady Buffs, coached by Chad Webb. Chad now in his 13th season with the Lady Buffs. There's an opportunity in front, kicked away by the Emporia defense. Coming back and knocking that ball out of bounds was Destiny Hoy. And a Lady Buff slow to get up. Making the cross, that was Malaya Mendoza. And it's going to be a corner kick for West Texas. Good ball in the center of the net. Header missed off to the right side. Ball still loose and recovered by the Emporia State keeper, Tori Bailey. That was a good inlet from Reagan Matakel. Gave the Lady Buffs an opportunity to score, and they couldn't capitalize. Lady Buffs still with possession. Nice steal. That was Avila with the steal. Her pass went a little forward. Ball in the corner. Avila gets it, tries to turn the corner, can't control, and it's stolen away. Outlet pass, though, controlled by the Lady Buffs. Here's Asha James, has her pass deflected away. And is it going to make the sideline? No, it's not. Yes, it is. Lady Buffs possession on the far side of the field. Just underway here at the pitch. No score between West Texas A&M and Emporia State. Matakel to Avila goes down, and that'll be a penalty against the Hornets. WT's possession. Oh, good ball. Breaking in. It's Mendoza. Shot off the crossbar. Oh, so close, but it wouldn't go in. Lady Buffs still in possession. Good entry pass. WT keeps it in their end of the field. And their effort to bring it up the side goes out of bounds. Lady Buffs in possession. Going to reverse side of the field now. Mandy Stricker puts it in the center. Now coming up the near side. Matakel. Ahead to Sarant. Sarant maintains control. Stricker in the center circle. Villarreal gets it ahead to Matakel. Good defensive play on the back line. Alexis Cole for the Hornets. Forces the turnover as Emporia State trying to clear their zone. Destiny Hoy up the sidelines, pushed. It'll be a penalty kick or a free kick for the Hornets. Making the effort is going to be Joni Westcoat, senior from Lee's Summit, Missouri, just outside of Kansas City. Westcoat puts it in the center. Nice header, high and over the crossbar. Good defensive effort by the Lady Buff keeper, Reagan Heelan, to knock that one over the top, but it was a good effort by the Hornets. Lady Buffs trying to clear their zone, can't quite do it as the Hornets keep it in. Here's Hoy, brings it up the side, puts it in the center. A one-timer goes just to the right. That was a good effort by Kylie Rowe, midfielder. Came up and her shot goes just to the right of the post. Matakel gets it ahead to Sarant. Sarant on the right side. And the ball goes out of bounds. And there we've got a penalty. As Asha James is pushed down. Hobbles a little bit as she gets up, but she'll be all right. .34 minutes to play in the first half. No score. Good entry. The header won't go, though. Lady Buffs keep it in. There's a shot just over the top. That was a nice effort. First, keeping the ball in the zone by Matekel, and then her left-footed boot just wide of the goal. Here's Ross Kelly. Tries to clear it, won't go. Sarant keeps it in. Ross Kelly ahead to Villarreal. And we've got a foul. It'll be another free kick for the Lady Buffs. As Matekel was pushed down pretty hard. Reagan Matekel, sophomore from Lucas, Texas, has the free kick. And the Hornets clear it out, but the Lady Buffs will hold it in. Stricker, nice lead, but just a little too far. The Hornets opening the season on the road, and they will stay on the road for a while. They don't return to campus until September 11 when they host Fort Hays State in an afternoon contest. They open the season with 5 consecutive road games here at West Texas. And then Sunday afternoon, they'll be in Austin to take on St. Edwards. They then make a swing up through the Dakotas, taking on University of Mary, Minot State, and then they finish up at Washburn before finally returning home for their season opener on September 11. Lady Buffs are on the road this Sunday as they visit Adams State in a 2 p.m. Central Time contest, and then they'll be back home next Friday, September 2, to entertain Fort Lewis out of the RMAC. No score, 14 minutes into the contest. There's a steal by James, tries to feed it ahead to Sarant, but her pass a little far, and we're going to have a foul called against Emporia. James pushed down from behind as she had the break. And the Lady Buffs with a free kick. This will be Emily Avila, the defender, senior from Albuquerque. Kick is deflected and goes across the end line. Hornets trying to clear it out of their zone. The Lady Buffs doing a great job of keeping the pressure on. Header by Avila, but she's going to be called for going over the back of Hannah Woolery. And it'll be the Hornets' ball. Lady Buffs trying to get it out of their zone, force the Hornets to retreat, regroup. Pass up the sideline, played nicely. WT gets it out from in front of their zone, but Emporia keeps it coming. Here's Hoy on the wing. Can't get anything going, and the Lady Buffs withstand the challenge there. That was Serrant with the charge. Ball knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a corner kick for West Texas A&M. Reagan Matakel. Actually, no corner kick. It's going to be a throw-in on the side. Matakel to throw it in. Gets it into Serrant. Back to Villarreal. Matakel, nice move. Gets it inside the penalty zone. Still going. Tripped up. We have a whistle? Yes, we do. Let's take a look at that. Nice ball handling by Matakel. Goes between two defenders. Was just about to take the shot when she was pushed down from behind. So it's going to be a penalty kick for the Lady Buffs. And it's going to be Asha James. James with an opportunity to put the Lady Buffs ahead. She did it, it's in the net. Goal, West Texas A&M. Asha James gives the Lady Buffs the lead 1-0 at the 27:35 mark of the first half. And while the box score tomorrow is going to say Asha James scored the goal, it was Reagan Matakel that had the offensive play that drew the foul and set up the penalty kick. That came at the 17:28 mark of the first half. Lady Buff head coach Chad Webb said he was confident his offense could score. And the key would be how well they could keep the ball out of the net at the other end. 3 times last year, West Texas scored 4 goals in a contest and lost. And in soccer, that's not going to get you very far. Here's the Hornets. Nice ball ahead. Goes out of bounds. That was Mackenzie DeMarco trying to turn the corner for the Hornets. And that ball deflected out of bounds by Aislinn Hughes. WT's throw in. Here's James. Gets it in the center to Villarreal. Stricker on the far side. Retreats, now passes ahead. Lady Buffs with a surge. Near side, Matakel tries to get it in the center. There's a shot, a save, deflected wide. That was Serrant with the shot, but a nice diving save by the Emporia State keeper, Tori Bailey. This will be a corner kick for West Texas, as the Lady Buffs in the last 5 minutes have had several good offensive opportunities. This is going to be Matakel. Puts it in the center. The header off the pipe. Another great opportunity missed there by WT. The execution was there and the ball just wouldn't drop. Hornets trying to get the ball out of their zone, and they do, but not for long, as WT has controlled possession through the majority of the first 20 minutes of this game. Oh, there's a steal by James. 1-on-2, gets around the last defender, puts it in front of the net. And the Hornets clear it out. Here's Matakel in front. Nice save by Bailey. Sweet hooking shot by Matakel, but Bailey with the diving save. Here's an opportunity for Emporia, but Hoy can't get to the ball, as beating her to the ball was Kendall Britton. Lady Buff defender. Be a throw-in for the Hornets. Alexis Cole sends it in. Left-footed boot by Haley Sparks is weak and rolls just to the left of the goal. Sparks, a sophomore from Park City, Kansas.
Entering the pitch for Emporia State, number 9, Angela Burnett.
Angela Palmer and Anna Burnett make their first appearance of the season for the Hornets. Game 22 minutes old, and the Lady Buffs with the 1-0 lead, courtesy of an Asha James penalty kick. Here's an opportunity. Hoy tries to center, but good defensive effort there by the Lady Buffs. Britton gets over, knocks the ball out of bounds. We'll have an Emporia State corner kick. This is going to be Hannah Woolery, senior from Overbrook, Kansas. Puts it in the middle. Ball headed away by the Lady Buffs. That was Alexis Villarreal knocking it away. Ball in a dangerous position as Bailey comes out, boots it upfield. Hornets trying to regroup and mount an offensive attack. Here's Cole in the center to Sparks. Pass ahead to Hoy, no good. Britton with the ball. Now the Hornets get it back. Here's Woolery. Kicks it outside to Hoy. Her centering pass is fielded by Reagan Heelan in front of the Lady Buff goal. A lot of athletic activity on campus this weekend for West Texas A&M, as over at the box, the Lady Buffs host their season opening Brit Care Lady Buff Volleyball Classic. That's been going on all day and will continue tomorrow. The Lady Buffs taking on UC Colorado Springs this evening. And that game should be underway. Let's see if we can update a score momentarily. Our score here at the pitch finds the Lady Buffs leading Emporia State 1-0 in the 25th minute of the contest. There's a shot taken and missed. Asha James moved in, and Bailey with the save for the Hornets. They're in the first game of the Lady Buffs and UC Colorado Springs. Lady Buffs with a 20-13 lead. Villarreal tries to pass it ahead. The Hornets come up with it, trying to get it out of their zone. Here's Woolery. The ball sent back the other way, and Bailey makes the save. Rolls it out on the wing to a teammate who boots it into the WT end of the field. Here's James. Some nice ball handling. Ahead to Damaris Cruz, who gave it back to James. Stricker has the ball taken away. Nice defensive play on the far side. Lady Buffs get it back. Coming up the far side, Sarant. Sends it back to James. James looking left foot wide. Strong shot, just didn't have the right angle. Bailey distributes to Cole. Cole ahead to Hughes. Tries to find Hoy, but the Lady Buffs come up with it. But not for long. Ball booted ahead, and we've got a foul called against the Lady Buffs. As Villarreal gave Hannah Woolery a little push from behind. Lady Buffs lead at 1-0 in the 29th minute here from the pitch. Weak header is going to be handled by Heelan. Soccer, like football, starts when the temperatures are in the 80s and 90s here in the Southwest, and by the time this season winds down, we'll be wearing the heavy coats and temperatures will be in the 30s. Foul called against the Hornets. West Texas A&M with the free kick. Avia sends it in. The header is saved by Bailey. Nice effort inside, but again, ball wouldn't cross that goal line. That was the 12th shot of the contest for WT. Emporia State has only mustered 2 to this point. Stricker up the far side. Cuts back to James. James triple covered. And the Hornets come up with the ball. Here's Woolery. Takes it right up the middle. Now veers to the far side. And her effort to center the ball won't go, but the ball knocked out of bounds by a Lady Buff defender. And it'll be a Hornets corner kick. Nice effort there. Reagan Heelan with the save. Another corner kick for the Hornets. Nice entry pass. The Lady Buffs knock it away. Here's James. Ahead to Serrant. Serrant can't quite control it. It's taken away by the Hornets.
Alexis.
Here's Stricker on the far side. Lady Buffs with an opportunity, ball knocked out of bounds. I believe we've got a corner kick. This will be Matakel. Good ball. Header goes wide. And it was last touched by the Lady Buffs.
So on field 1, we have Real Steel versus Idaho Cornslingers. Field 2, H-Town versus Airmail. Field 3, the Goonies versus us. Actually, the Goonies is here, so C squared.
Nice pass. James trying to track it down before it goes out of bounds. Will she get up? She catches it. Brings it back. Nice entry pass by Mendoza. But it's going to be kicked away by the Hornets. Lady Buffs regroup.
Field 7, the Buffalo Boys versus Corn Dogs. Field 8, the Caramels versus
Throw in on the far side.
Field 9, the Corn Thugs versus Brothers. Field 10, Tall Guys
Entering the pitch for your Lady Buffs, number 25, Nicole Gray.
versus Tradesmen. Field 12, Dale. No idea.
Mendoza to inbound on the far side. As Nicole Gray enters the lineup for West Texas. Gray, a freshman from Amarillo, attended Amarillo High. Lady Buffs leading 1-0 here, 37th minute of play. Good cross, but nobody there to receive for WT. The ball's going to go across the end line and be a goal kick for Emporia State. Lady Buffs with 12 shots here in the first half. While WT keeper Reagan Heelan has seen just 3 Hornet shots. Lady Buffs have definitely controlled the tempo here in the first half to this point, but the lead just one goal. But here's Maria Francis Saran, gets in, puts it in the net for a goal. Beautiful lead pass by the Lady Buffs. Mandy Stricker finds Maria Francis Saran for the goal, and the Lady Buffs go up 2-0 in the 39th minute of the first half of play. Good ball in the center. Here's DeMarco, tries to make a run, pleads for a call. She's not going to get it, but it's going to be a corner kick for the Hornets. Westcote to make the kick from the near side, down in the southwest corner of the pitch. Puts it in the center, but it's knocked away by the Lady Buffs, but not out. Here's Westcote. Getting hounded defensively, but stays in possession. Puts it in the center, shot no good. Heelan with the save. Coming in and taking the shot was DeMarco. But the Lady Buffs thwarted the effort. Now at the other end, here's Savant. Punches it a little too far for her to catch it. And there's a little miscommunication by Emporia State. Well, no, the ball was deflected by WT. My bad. Free kick for the Hornets. That's Campbell Carini, puts it in the center. Now outside, Bailey, Ray Bailey. Her cross is going to roll out the other side of the field, and it'll be Lady Buffs throw in. Coming up the near sideline, Matakel. Good ball. James races for it, but Bailey gets back there and makes the save. Gray tries to get it ahead to Sarant. Sarant controls the ball. Nice ball handling in the corner. Kicks it back to Matakel. Header. No good from the far corner. Header was Mendoza moments ago.
1 minute remaining.
We're entering the final minute of the first half of play. Lady Buffs with a 2-goal lead. Winding down the final 10 seconds of the half. The Lady Buffs with the throw in.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And that will conclude our first half of play as the teams head to the sidelines. West Texas A&M has a 2-0 lead over Emporia State after one half of play. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime activities. You're watching Lady Buff Soccer on the WT Sports Network.
WT Athletics would like to thank
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Welcome back to the pitch, where we are at the half with the Lady Buffs leading Emporia State 2-0. Earlier this week, Bryce Sheets had the opportunity to sit down and visit with Lance Keith. Dr. Keith, the Associate Dean of the Paul Engler College of Agriculture and Natural Sciences here at West Texas A&M. It's a popular major. It's a popular profession. And the topic was the growth and development of WT's agriculture program. Let's visit with Bryce and Dr. Keith now.
How are you?
Come on in.
Yeah, good. Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Thank you for joining us today.
You bet. What a pleasure.
And we're joined, of course, by Associate Dean, Department Head and Professor of Agriculture, Dr. Lance Keith. And I think one of the neat things about you, Dr. Keith, is that you obviously involved in the growth of the agricultural department and all that it's done. But really, when you look at your bio and everything else, you talk so much in there about under that, the youth and the youth programs in the community and things like that. Is that one of the things that just, that's where it has to start to begin? And then that kind of helps in the recruiting of students as well?
You bet it does. That's our clientele,
Right.
and our future clientele.
Right.
So I've had the opportunity while at WT to move up here to start the Ag Education program.
Right.
And those 4-H and FFA groups out in our communities are kind of our recruiting center for those that are interested in agriculture and are going to pursue paths. So my background has actually led to that. Formerly ag teacher and a county agent, so had experience in those and knew the people, and so yeah, from a recruiting standpoint, that's been a great opportunity to have that.
You've been with the university for 20 years,
yes, sir.
And you've kind of shepherded and been a part of the explosion with the
Yes.
agriculture department. Kind of explain how that has all come about and how it's grown.
You bet. That started many years ago with a group of alumni as well as faculty wanting to make WT Ag what it should be. And so the efforts were put in with not just hiring faculty, but looking at new programs such as Ag Education to bring in, as well as support. And that's really been done from our donors and alumni that have come together to grow WT Ag, to grow WT in the process, and also to highlight agriculture. As you know, in the Texas Panhandle, we are ag.
Yes.
And big ag.
Yes.
And so industries here, our production operations are here in many areas, not just in one. So we should be a large university that's dedicated to agriculture and for solving problems for producers, but also attracting the workforce through students and research, service, those things that we do in our job. So,
final question, Ag Day's coming, of course,
You bet.
and that's one of the big things. Can I tell everybody what is all involved?
Oh,
with
you
Ag Day?
bet. Ag Day started many years ago with the growth, which we mentioned earlier. The dollars that have been raised from Ag Day, and it's a celebration of ag. It's not just an auction, but it's alumni to come together, celebrate ag, network, connect, see old friends. But they started with an auction, selling items to support the department. And for the last 20 years, they have given the dollars raised at that auction back to the department. And there's 2 rules that I have as department head, and the ones before me have the same rules. And that is the money is to be spent on recruiting and or promoting WT Ag. And the second is we have to spend every penny or they won't raise it the next year. So every year we start at zero.
Right.
And this last year, this group raised $267,000 in 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
the proof is in the pudding. We take those dollars, their return on investment in us is growth. And right now, preliminary numbers, but right now we're up 7.5%. We're going over the 1,000 mark in students, and it's huge. And it's because of those resources and that support from our community. And you know, I'll be remiss in not mentioning the Pills and the Schaefers and the Baines and the Trotters and those folks who've been hooked on for 20 years,
Right.
and the Englers. But it's also just the recent grad that, you know, he may not be able to give a lot of money, or she may not be able to, but to show up and help and support and promote, and, you know, maybe $5. But we want to turn that back to growing our university, bringing the best in that we can, and it's even out-of-state students that we're bringing in by the hundreds right now. And because we are the place to go in agriculture, we're very proud of that, and we have a responsibility to produce a return on that investment. And those students, the thing that people need to understand, they come here to educate, and most time they don't leave.
Right.
They go into our industry. So, and they're good folk for our communities. They have good values, hard workers. And we're very proud of that fact. So we're very blessed by our supporters, our industry, the university as a whole. So yeah, Ag Day is September the 10th,
Yep.
which is coming up pretty
Quickly.
quick.
Yep.
Yeah. It's actually right over there across the street, guys. You're welcome to come. It
Yeah,
starts
come on.
Yeah, starts at 11, goes to about 3.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been to the ag facility, we invite you to come take a look at it. It is phenomenal. But I can't say enough about our faculty and the support. It comes down to the people.
Right.
Even though we have great facilities, it's still having good people, good work, people like yourself in our community that give back. And Panhandle is unbelievable. It's the most giving place I've ever been in my life. And
it really is.
We don't take that for granted. So we appreciate that. Thanks to everyone who supported us.
Dr. Lance Keith, we appreciate it. Continued success.
You bet. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
All righty.
806-358.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Welcome back to the pitch where we are at the half. West Texas A&M with a 2-0 lead over Emporia State. Let's take a quick look at our first half statistics. The scoring was all WT in the 17th minute, 17:26 to be precise. Sasha James with a penalty kick goal. She rifled one into the top left-hand corner of the net. And then in the 39th minute, Maria Francis Serrant put one in the top left with a nice assist coming from Nicole Gray. As a team, the Lady Buffs out shooting the Hornets 14-4. Emporia State keeper Tori Bailey has made 7 saves, while Lady Buff goalie Reagan Heelan has made 2. Emporia State has had 4 corner kicks to 3 for WT. As we mentioned, the Lady Buffs out shooting the Hornets 14-4. Of those 14, 9 have been on goal. Of the Hornets' 4 shots, 2 have been on goal. Both teams have been whistled for 6 fouls apiece. Again, a goal by Serrant at the 39th minute, and a penalty kick goal by James in the 17th minute have put the Lady Buffs up 2-0. We're going to take a final timeout. When we come back, we'll have your second half of play. You're watching Lady Buff Soccer on the LSC Digital Network.
90 years.
The walk-on athlete. They train longer and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Healthy smiles. Your child's dental journey begins now. Email
Since 1910, WT and the Department of Agricultural Sciences have served the Panhandle and beyond.
Today, WT is committed to continuing an ag heritage tradition while inspiring innovation and cutting-edge education. As a regional research university, through ag industry partnerships, WT is focused on solving real-world problems and developing future ag leaders. For more information about supporting WT Ag, go to wtamu.edu/agday.
Went for a onside kick. Landed on my knee pretty hard and ended up fracturing my femur. I ended up having to go back and have surgery. Even the day after I had surgery, I was back in the clinic here. It's nice to have people help me rehab at a caliber of what I'm used to feeling like I can do. One thing that I really liked was having the access to the turf, because that's what I'm used to playing on. Now, I mean, it feels like nothing had ever happened. You have a choice of where you can go. This is one of the best places in Amarillo.
As we prepare to start the second half of play, the Lady Buffs hold a 2-0 lead over Emporia State, and you look back to the pregame comments by WT head coach Chad Webb. He was confident in his offense's ability to score, put the ball in the back of the net. WT controlled the soccer ball in the first half of play. The majority of the game played in WT's end of the field. WT taking 14 shots, 9 shots on goal. His concern was defensively, we can't give up bunches of goals, and the Lady Buffs pitch a shutout in the first half. In fact, only allow 2 shots on goal and just 4 shots in general. And it was a rarity when Emporia State would mount an offensive thrust that would encompass more than just 1 or 2 shots before the Lady Buffs had cleared the ball out of their end of the field. So, looking at the second half of play, if you're the Lady Buffs, continue the mindset and the intensity that you displayed in the first half. If you're Emporia State, you remember that you were a team that made it 2 rounds into the NCAA playoffs a year ago. You have an All-American who is getting very few touches today. And, try and get back in this ball game. 45 minutes to play. 2-0's our score. West Texas A&M has the lead. And while in our pregame we mentioned Mackenzie DeMarco as being the All-American and the one to watch in the Emporia offense, she has had very few touches. West Texas A&M has done an excellent job of keeping the ball to the outside, whereas Mackenzie plays up the middle. And I'm sure in the second half we'll probably see number 3 extending her range a little bit to try and get some touches and make something happen offensively for the Hornets. Lady Buffs will be defending the goal to the north. That'll be to the left as we look at the pitch on your TV or electronic device. Lady Buffs in the black jerseys with the maroon letters in West Texas. Emporia again in the white with the gold numerals and the stylized E on the chest. And it'll be Emporia's ball to start the second half of play. Again, Kent Johnson along with our producer, Daniel Kalunga, and the Thunder Vision crew bringing Lady Buff Soccer to you this evening and the season opener for both these soccer clubs. Tried to feed Hoy up the side, but the ball was deflected away. James at midfield. Cuts back, tries to feed Sarant. The ball was deflected away by the Hornets. Breaking up the sideline, Malaya Mendoza finds Serrant. Serrant plays it back to Stricker. Stricker trying to find James in the center, misfires. Here's the Hornets trying to break out. Woolery on the far side to Hoy. Hoy trying to get around the Lady Buff defense. Couldn't get a step. And a good clean play on the far side. Coming up and making the tackle for West Texas, Reagan Medicali. We called her name a lot in the first half. Lady Buffs try to clear, but it won't go out. They'll do it again with the same result. There's DeMarco. Can't get a shot off. Lady Buffs come the other way. Asha James to Serrant. Serrant trying to use her speed to get around. Can't get a shot off. Now tries to set up a play. James, she's strong with that left foot. Takes a shot wide to the left. Both James and Serrant from Trinidad and Tobago. Serrant from Port of Spain. And James from Canaan. Small island has produced some outstanding soccer players, two of which on the field tonight for the Lady Buffs. Here's James trying to turn the corner. Ball goes out of bounds. And we're going to have a goal kick. In the 47th minute, our score remains 2-0. That's where we were at the half. Hornets again having difficulty getting the ball out of their end of the field. They maintain possession though and have a inbounds pass. That ball deflected away by the Lady Buffs. Mendoza. Here's Stricker to inbound for WT with the throw in. Finds Serrant, kicks it back to Stricker. Serrant controls. Tries to feed Stricker behind, but that ball's going to be stolen away. Here's DeMarco. She's dangerous, but the ball's stolen just as she entered the penalty zone. Nice play by the Lady Buffs. Kendall Britton. Stopping one of the region, if not the nation's, most dangerous offensive players. Lady Buffs had an opportunity there and misplayed that pass. Here's Woolery in the center. Feeds Angela Palmer. Ball stolen away. Coming back the other way, tackled hard, but it was a clean hard. Matakel went down, but James comes up with the ball and promptly loses it. Mendoza trying to make something happen, wants to turn the corner and get a center shot, but she can't quite do it, and it's going to be a goal kick for Emporia State. Here's Abby Bachman. Tries to find Woolery, who does a nice job protecting the ball. Hoy on the far side. It'd be a Lady Buff throw in. Good defensive effort by WT. That was Matakel. On the near side, Bachman puts it in the center, but doesn't have a teammate in position. She'll get another opportunity. Maybe. Good defensive play there by the Lady Buffs. Malaya Mendoza, senior from Dallas. Good ball. Here's Sarant. Has a breakaway. Now the defense catches up. Tries to feed James. Can't do it. Avila tries to send it in, but it's off the mark. Hornets trying to get something going offensively, but every time they make a charge, the Lady Buff defense is back and ready. Hard hit on the far side. That's going to be a foul against the Hornets. As Avila got knocked head over heels. Oh, and here's a break. Emporia State, DeMarco back there, and coming out and making the save is Heelan. Ball might have been just a little ahead of DeMarco, but she hustled and got it. Couldn't quite get the shot I think she really wanted to take. Throw in for the Hornets. Abby Bachman tries to find Anna Burnett. The Lady Buffs take it away. Opportunity for a break if Sarant can get back, but it's not going to be. 2-0 our score, 55 minutes into the contest. Lady Buffs with throw-in opportunity. Asha James, slow to get up. Throw in by Mendoza. And it goes back out of bounds. Emporia State's possession, trailing 2-0. 33 minutes remaining in this contest. Nice entry pass, but WT didn't have someone in position to convert. Goal kick for the Hornets. James tries to find Serrant. Ball deflected back. Controlled by WT. WT with a good opportunity here. Shot just wide of the left post. Good opportunity there for the Lady Buffs. That was Silvestre that took that one. Did a nice job maneuvering for the opportunity and fired just wide. Here's the Hornets, DeMarco. Pass intercepted by WT, and the Lady Buffs go the other way. Serrant with a shot just wide. Tried to put it in the upper right corner and just missed hitting the mark. Lady Buffs back in action Sunday afternoon when they travel to Alamosa, Colorado to take on Adams State. That'll be a 2 p.m. start. And then they'll return home to the pitch next Friday evening as they host Fort Lewis out of the RMAC. So a pair of Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference opponents this weekend for the Lady Buffs. Emporia State playing the first of 5 consecutive road games to start the season. Their next stop will be Sunday afternoon down in Austin, Texas, as they face St. Edwards. Lady Buffs distribute the ball back to Heelan. And Emporia State keeps it in. Good play on the far side by Hoy. Tries to center. She does to DeMarco, and her tap goes just wide of the right post. Oh, nice ball. DeMarco has it knocked away on the back line. That was Britton coming across, making the stop. Here's Mendoza to James. Nice ball, Silvestri with a shot and a save. Oh! Tori Bailey with a beautiful stop off a nice play by the Lady Buffs. Sarant with the left foot just couldn't quite get it past the Hornets keeper. And to this point, if you're an Emporia State fan, you can thank Tori Bailey for this not being a 5 or 6 goal contest. She has made some absolute beautiful saves. Now here's Westcote with the free kick. Gets deflected back past the center stripe. Trying to find DeMarco in the center. Can't. Lady Buff defense smothering. Good thought, but they couldn't quite pull it off. As sneaking in, Allie Holder was caught offside. Interestingly, that was our first offsides of the contest, and this has been a game where the ball has gone back and forth. James presses forward, keeps possession, finds Sarant. Sarant goes down, and we'll have a foul. WT with the penalty kick, or the free kick, rather. Avila with the opportunity. Shoots it in just wide of the post. Well, she got it by the 3-man Hornet wall, but she couldn't get the ball to curl back inside the pipe. Now here's a counterattack by the Hornets. Burnett centers to DeMarco one time, and a nice save by Heelan to deflect the ball over the goal. She's thinking she should have held on to the ball, but it was a nice save off of one time from DeMarco.
Entering the pitch for Emporia State, number 6, Michaela Lamp.
For Emporia State, Michaela Lamp, Haley Sparks.
And number 15, Haley Sparks.
Entered the game, as does Kylie Rowe. Here's a corner kick. Lady Buffs kick it out to the sideline where Emporia State maintains control. Trying to send it in, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Lady Buffs. Lady Buffs attacking here. on the far side. Nice ball handling. And we'll have a foul. That was Avia trying to attack, and she went down hard. She'll have the opportunity for the free kick here. Avia gets it up in the air, right on goal, but also right at Tori Bailey, who makes the catch and the save. Kylie Rowe for the Hornets. Distributes outside. Nice tackle over there by the Lady Buffs. That was Avia getting back defensively. .21 minutes remaining in regulation. West Texas leading 2-0. Emporia throw in. Hornets headed towards the goal, but not much chance there. Here's Avia, gets by one Hornet. Can't get by number 2 and 3. And a counterattack by Emporia. Coming up the near side, trying to save it. Couldn't quite get it.
Entering the pitch for Emporia State, number 8, Rhea Bailey.
Stricker brings it up the near side for the Lady Buffs. Tries to send it down the sideline, but boots it out of bounds. Into the 71st minute with the Lady Buffs. Still leading 2-0. Avia on the outside. Good defensive play, but the Lady Buffs maintain control. Ball deflected out of bounds. Will be a WT corner kick. Avila with the corner. Nice ball, header. Saved by the Hornets. Getting back there and collecting that header was Kylie Rowe. Saved a potential goal. Lady Buffs ball. Throw in to James. Hornets take it, try and go the other way. Nice move at midfield by Rowe. Distributes outside. Coming back is Avila to knock the ball out of bounds, but Emporia State maintains possession. Here's DeMarco. Knocked away. Lady Buffs clear. Sparks. Outside to Bachman. Bachman wants to center with the left foot. Can't do it. Out of bounds. Corner kick for the Hornets. Nice ball, headed out by the Lady Buffs. Good defense there. On the far side, Bailey. Back to Westcote. In the center, DeMarco tried to turn, but she couldn't get her foot on the ball. Now here's Sarah for WT. Back to Matakel. Walking in, DeMarco's denied. Reagan Heelan comes out. Makes the save on the breakaway. Heelan saves the shutout. Near side, it's Sparks. Still has the ball. Now turns it over, and we got a breakaway. Maria Francis Serow takes it in and hits the post. And we've got a whistle and a foul. And they're going to call an intentional obstruction. Maria Francis Serow had the breakaway. The Hornets keeper, Tori Bailey, comes out to make the play. And we've got a red card as the Hornets keeper has just been ejected. Well, that's not what you want to see. Whether you're a Lady Buffs fan or certainly an Emporia State fan, as that will carry an ejection for the next game. And replacing actually, that was Mackenzie Goen that was in the net, and now Bailey takes to the field. But Maria Francis Saron had a golden opportunity there with the breakaway and hit the pipe. 24 shots, 12 of which has found their way on goal for the Lady Buffs. And Emporia State coach Brian Saylor pleading his case with the lead official, Leiford Calder. But the call has been made, and it will stand. So the Lady Buffs will have a free kick here. Calder marks off the necessary distance and says Emporia State is in position. Here's the boot, and it's right at the keeper. And actually that was Mackenzie Goen that went in as keeper at the half for Emporia State, and Tori Bailey started the game, and she returns to action now. So it was Goen who was ejected with the red card. Lady Buffs on the far wing. James gets around, centers, but nobody in front as Bailey makes the save. Here's James offside. Here's Avia outside. Centers it. Header missed. Saron with a shot, but play was whistled dead as I believe the Lady Buffs were offsides. As that was Mendoza that had the initial header and was whistled for the offside. Lady Buffs lead it 2-0. Just over 10 minutes to play in the contest. Season opener for both teams, West Texas A&M and Emporia State. Ball sent free. It's a race. Coming out to knock it free, Bailey. Now some hesitation. She finally clears out to her defender. That's Asta Kristendolfish, freshman from Iceland. And the pronunciation is Kristendolfish, but if I was to spell it to you, you would say no way.
Entering the pitch for Emporia State, number 5, Riley Cohen. Number 7,
Riley Cohen, and makes her first appearance of the night. Campbell Carini returns to the field for the Hornets, as does Alexis Cole. Entering the final 10 minutes of play. Here's James, 1-on-3. Doesn't deter her. She gets by one of them. By the second, shot and goal! Asha James, with 3 defenders between her and the goal, gets by 2 of them and puts it by the keeper, Bailey. And the Lady Buffs take a 3-0 lead with 8:54 to play in the 81st minute of this contest. Beautiful play by Asha James. And the Lady Buffs with 3 goals and a shutout at the other end. Hornets playing with some aggression now, trying to make something happen. An NCAA playoff team a year ago, but this season opener has not gone according to plan. Good ball by Westcote. Fielded cleanly by Heelan. Heelan clears it past midfield to James. She tried to secure it, but couldn't do it. And we've got another stoppage in play. Who's this one going to be against? As Leiford Calder motions for somebody to come see him. We're going to have a yellow card issued against the Lady Buffs. This goes against Alexis Villarreal. As Calder thought she was a little aggressive on the tackle. .754 showing on the game clock. Of course, the official clock is kept down on the field. Header sent wide, but good hustle there, coming over to save the ball and keep it in play. Centering pass goes for naught. And that was DiCarlo that chased the ball down in the corner and kept it going. But when she's chasing the ball down, Emporia's primary scoring threat isn't in front of the goal. Here's Avia. Sends it in front to James. A little too hard. Out of bounds goal kick for Emporia State. Lady Buffs with goals in the 17th minute by James on a penalty kick. Maria Francis Serra off an assist by Mandy Stricker in the 39th minute. And then most recently, Asha James with her second goal of the game. Wasn't off a breakaway, it was a 1-on-3. She got by 2 defenders and then put it in the net for her second goal of the game. Lady Buffs leading 3-0 with 6 minutes to play. Coming up the outside. And I will readily admit that after dark, maroon on black is tough to see when you're looking for numbers. It'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Ball cleared but not out. Avia holds it in. Protects the ball as she turns the corner. Looking to center. Cuts back. And finally loses possession as the Hornets' Ray Bailey comes back to get the ball. Tries to find DeCarlo. DeCarlo one-touches it to Pope. Nice pass by Westcote, but we've got a foul called against the Hornets. Lady Buffs may be content to play keep away now with a 3-goal lead, but they can't sleep on it too hard. Emporia State has the ability to score goals in bunches. Here's James to Serra. Serra keeps it away herself, finds James on the wing. James with 2 goals. Her pass goes awry, but the Lady Buffs maintain possession. Stolen away by Angela Palmer of Emporia. DeMarco chases the ball down on the end line, cuts back, gets around 2 Lady Buffs and loses possession out of bounds. It'll be Emporia State's inbound as Destiny Hoy returns to the lineup for the Hornets, as does Haley Sparks. And for the Lady Buffs, Jordan Bearden, freshman from San Antonio, makes her first appearance in the ball game. So we're in the 86th minute. Lady Buffs ball inside of 2 minutes to play. Here's Saron. James mishandles, tries to track it down, does. West Texas A&M content to just keep Emporia State away from the goal right now. Inside of the final minute to play. And this has been a solid effort on both ends of the pitch for the Lady Buffs. They knew they could score, and they did. They scored 3 times. The concern was, could they keep the ball out of the net at the other end? And between the defensive efforts plus that of goalkeeper Reagan Heelan, they have done a magnificent job here in the season opener. Throw in for the Hornets. Lady Buffs come away with it. The Hornets keep it in. Carini sends it in. It's headed back out. We're in the final 10 seconds of the game on the clock. And Leaford Calder says that's the game. And West Texas A&M comes away 3-0 victors in their season opener against the Emporia State Hornets. A pair of goals by Asha James, as well as a goal from Maria Francis Serra, account for the 3 tallies for the home team. And then you look at the efforts in goal by the Lady Buffs goalkeeper Reagan Heelan, making 5 saves on just 10 shots by Emporia State. And that adds up to a shutout in the season opening game. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have our final stats and wrap it up. You're watching Lady Buff Soccer on the LSC Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
One West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign, raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
Welcome back to the pitch, where West Texas A&M has just ran their season mark to 1-0 with a 3-0 shutout against visiting Emporia State. The Hornets fall to 0-1 on the season. Here's a quick look at our final statistics. Lady Buffs with 26 shots, 14 found their way to be on goal. 3 of them made it into the back of the net. For Emporia State, they took 10 shots, 5 were on goal. They did not score. Emporia State was whistled for 11 fouls. The Lady Buffs whistled for 8. Emporia State had 6 corner kicks to 4 for the Lady Buffs. Between the pipes for the Lady Buffs, Reagan Heelan with the shutout made 5 saves on 10 shots she faced. She played the entire game. For the Hornets, Tori Bailey played 58 minutes. She played the entire first half. And then Mackenzie Gowen came on at the half. She made 3 saves over 31 and a half minutes before being ejected with a red card. That red card led to one of the Lady Buffs' goals, in fact, their third goal of the game, when Tori Bailey came back to finish things off. Bailey made 8 saves, whereas Mackenzie Gowen made 3. The scoring, West Texas opened it at the 17:26 mark with Aisha James converting a penalty kick in the top left corner of the net. Then at the 39-minute mark, Maria Francis Serra hit the top left corner off her right boot, had a nice assist from Mandy Stricker. That made it 2-0, and that was our halftime score. Then in the second half, our only goal came in the 81st minute when Aisha James had a breakaway. She was the only Lady Buff in that end of the field. Had to get by 3 Emporia State defenders. She made her way past 2 of them, juked the third, and put it past the goalie for a beautiful goal, making our final score 3-0. So that's our wrap. Lady Buffs go to 1-0. Emporia State falls to 0-1. Lady Buffs are back at it Sunday afternoon in Alamosa, Colorado, when they visit Adams State at 2 p.m. The Hornets travel down to Austin to take on St. Edwards in a 1 p.m. start. I'd like to give out a special thanks to our producer tonight, Daniel Kalunga, and our Thunder Vision camera operators, Cheyenne Jonas and Dylan